Yellow class, welcome to Friday. We managed to get to the end of our third week of being at home now and our schooling. I'm so sorry about yesterday's video. It did make me chuckle when I got home and tried to watch it. I don't think I've ever moved that fast in my life as I did on that time-lapse video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you blinked, you probably would have missed it. But after I was cross, I did find it quite funny as well. Hopefully today's video will record a little bit better so I can explain to you the things I want you to do today. So, 24th of April, let's have a look at what we're going to do. So this week, we have been looking at that ul sound at the end of words. Today, what you can do is you can mix all of those pairs games together. Because they are the same colour, you can use all of them. You might want to take a couple of sets out of each one and have a bit of a mix-up and play a game using all of those words. And then we're going to have a go in a minute at doing some spelling. So you'll need a piece of paper and a pencil. Whether you do them in your book or whether you just want to do them on a scrap of paper, it's up to you. So you might want to pause me whilst you go and find a piece of paper. Right, we're going to be writing some words. I'm going to give you a clue. There are 2 words for each of the spellings. So you need to think carefully about which spelling, and if you get one that you definitely know goes with a spelling, then maybe you've written it incorrectly and you might need to swap it over. So I'll read through the words and then we will write them through together. First word, pencil. Pencil. Can you find me a pencil? Apple. Did you eat the green apple? Mammal. A cat is a type of mammal. Lentil. On Wednesdays we have lentil curry. Tunnel. The train went through the tunnel. Petal. The flower has got lots of petals. You only need to write petal, not petals. Table. Put your work on the table. Funnel. Can you pour the water through the funnel? I think we've done all of those. I do apologise if we haven't. We will soon find out. Right, so let's have a look. The IL words that you had were pencil and lentil. So they both had the IL spelling at the end. You had the EL words were funnel, and remember in the middle of funnel you have got that double N, and then tunnel and funnel, they are rhyming words. You've got that double N and you've got the EL on the end. Your words with an LE, you had apple, has got the LE, and table has also got the LE at the end. And then your AL words were petal, oh whoops, petal and, mammal, that was the one. And again, mammal has got that double M in the middle, okay? Those were our words that we were thinking about this week and our spelling patterns. Right, yesterday I tried to do a times table test with you. It didn't work due to the speed that I was saying them at, and you wouldn't have been able to hear me anyway. So we will have a quick revision of our times table again. So on the piece of paper where you have just written out those words, you can use it to do a little bit of your mental maths this afternoon. Are we ready? So you don't need to write the calculation, you just have to write the answers. 4 2s are, and just write it down. 3 10s are, 7 2s are, 6 10s are, 8 5s are, and last one's a tricky one, 9 2s. You can pause me in between if you need to, or listen to those again. So, 4 2s are 8, 3 10s are 30, 7 2s are 14, not to be confused with 40, 6 10s are 60, 8 5s are 40, and 9 2s are 18. So those should have been your answers. Today in maths, we are thinking about symmetry. Now, we've thought about symmetry before, and symmetry is when we think about a shape or a picture or something that you have a line of symmetry which goes down the middle, and you end up with two identical halves. So you split something in half and both sides are the same. That's when you call something being symmetrical. So I have drawn some shapes, or I haven't drawn them, I've got some shapes on here. So if we look at my triangle is symmetrical because if I was to draw a line, or will it let me do it? All the way down the middle, I have ended up with two sides that are exactly the same. And if I folded it down the line, there wouldn't be any extra bits on the side. Those two halves are exactly the same. And the same with this square, a bit off there. If I draw a line down the middle, it makes it symmetrical. So some of these shapes are symmetrical, but then when we look at some of these other images, we can see that they are not symmetrical, because if we try and draw a line down the middle, you don't get the same shape each side. So these ones are not symmetrical. Now your task today is you have got a little piece of paper like this. I would like you to draw a symmetrical picture. So you might just need to be colouring, and you might not need to actually draw a picture. You might try to make it so it looks like a picture, because if you were to think, you might be able to do, maybe if you wanted to do a butterfly or something, you could colour in, and whatever you colour one side, you have to colour exactly the same squares the other side. So if my butterfly, if I want it to have maybe an eye or something on its wing, I want, oh, that's 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3. So I need to make sure that I am colouring each of those so that they are all exactly the same, so that my image is symmetrical. Okay, so if I was going to make that into a butterfly, I might make those into wings. I might colour that one there, and I need to make sure that I colour the same on the other side so that my picture is symmetrical. Let me have a look. Oh, I've got to do 3 along there. Oh look, I've noticed I've got to do 4 there. And then I would do maybe some wings at the bottom. So you might be able to make it into a picture, you might just want to colour in a pattern, but your image needs to be symmetrical, and I've drawn you a line down the centre so that you can do that. Our literacy task for today, we are thinking about that suffix, that ing suffix. Suffixes are groups of letters which we add to the end of words. Ing is a suffix that we tend to add to verbs when we are making sure they are in the correct tense. You have got some verbs down here. Now there are some patterns that we have noticed when we are learning to add this suffix on the end. So we have got what we call regular words, where we would just add that suffix and we don't do anything to them. So those are regular verbs, and we do nothing to the root word. We have got some root words when they have got a short vowel sound, an a, e, I, o, or an what do we have to do to that final consonant? We have to double that final consonant. So remember that rule. And sometimes if our verbs end in an E, what do we have to do with that E? We would take the E off to add our suffix on the end. So think about those words, have a look, and we've also got a little bit of a sneaky one, not always, but sometimes when we're adding them, the Y might become an I, but have a think today. You might need to use your dictionary or maybe the internet to help you check that one, because this happens sometimes, but when you're looking today, it might not happen with this word here. Maybe have a play with that and see what happens when you try to do that. Okay? These are the rules that we learned. Add that ing suffix to each of the words, and then it says, can you try writing some sentences? Now don't forget, try to use different pronouns, not just I. Think about what you can do to make those sentences interesting. Handwriting today, we have got a revision of all those spellings. So we've got apple, so curly cur, low P, tall L, and then our E on the end, kestrel, tall K, E, S, tall T, R, and then E, and then a tall L. Then we've got mammal. Now remember those M's, up, down, over, into the A, up, down, over, up, down, over, into the curly A, and up for the tall L. Lots of up and downs in that one. And peril. So you've got P, E, the R, when you come off the R, you go straight into the I, and then up into the L. So that's your handwriting for today. And then your last task for today is your science. Mrs. Welling has photocopied this PowerPoint about seed dispersal and put it into your packs. She wants you to read through that. There is also a video that she wants you to watch, and I have put the link to that on the website page. She'd like you to write a report about what happens to dandelion seeds. And I have been outside because actually this year, where the weather has been so warm, if you go out into your garden, unless your grass has been cut recently, you might be able to find some dandelions and some dandelion seed heads, so you can see different stages of that dandelion life cycle. So have a look in your gardens, you might be able to see that. I'm going to put some photographs on the web page because I've just been out in Red Class Garden and they've actually got some dandelions in different stages. And as always, I know you're bored of hearing that, do get physical, do try something. You've got the PE lesson that I recorded, you might do Joe Wicks, you might go out for a bike ride, you might go for a walk, but you need to keep your bodies active as well as your minds. Have a great Friday and I will see you all again on Monday. Take care, Yellow Class.